found me and sent me some, say, you're a senior citizen, you can get, I said, the boss man sent me something in the mail. So I just filled it out and I got on the internet, I had the kids get on the internet and and boss man sent $1,200. Somebody else, we don't have to, we've been doing this too long to worry about finances. Now, as a financial manager, I already know the capabilities. We couldn't do all of this unless I was good at money managing. We couldn't do it. It's just not possible. I mean, with all the hits we take, you know what I mean, with all the things that happen, you ain't nowhere in the world. So we know that Allah is in charge of all of this. So we would be ungrateful if we were sitting around, man, we need a little bit of money. Where's the money going to come from? And it's right at the time when we can't go out and do our regular hustling and stuff we do.
Right.
We can't do our regular piracy or nothing like that. That's piracy. How can you pirate pirates? You know, people as pirates, you can't pirate a pirate. But anyway, the point is that whatever's going on, you know, like things are beginning to shape up a little bit, and you can tell when stuff is directed our way. This is what I believe. So anyway, it's no problem, because the neighborhood goes by like people at Brother Tufel's, the brother out there that used to own, he used to do silver work and make rings out there. He had a shop by Glut. He was showing me something on the internet. They had a church or a mosque. They had people together. Oh, they took pictures of people in a masjid that was all together, that was breaking the law. So, and then they fined them $15,000. You know, I don't care.
Yeah, I had a brother tell me the same thing during Brother Tufel's janazah.
Why? Because we were all in here?
Yeah.
Well, but because they got the things about you ain't supposed to come to. I said, the police know what we're doing around here? Shoot, you act like the feds know, everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
If they want to come and do something, they not only wouldn't, but they couldn't, because suppose all the people outside, and then all the cars and lights flash, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that. That brings attention. Everybody. What's happened with the Muslims?
Yeah. That's
so number one, you get everybody on your side. They can't do all of that.
Yeah, and it seemed like, I guess, I don't know, the brother was trying to get me to panic or nothing, but as I thought the exact same thing. The last thing Boss Man wants is us in the news. Why would he send this ops?
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So,
it makes sense to me.
Yeah. So, this side right here, doing Q&A here. So anyway, so the janazah went well. Does anybody have any comments or anything on the janazah at all?
This the last one?
The last one.
Oh no, I thought it was. I really liked it. I mean, as far as janazas go,
Right.
You know, just the people. You know, me knowing.
Right.
You know, the type.
So the crew, that crew.
It was the Negro.
The Negro. That's one thing about it. It was 97% Negroes.
He's showing up
In the audience. No, they was.
I wasn't
going
to say anything about that.
And
they were colored.
And it was good that they got a chance to go and put dirt on their brother, to just experience that, and
Right.
you could tell that that's, you know, I mean, I was seeing grown men, you know, supposed to be
Right.
gangsters,
Like
or
we
what have
gangsters
you.
and stuff. Yeah.
They was crying.
Yeah.
And I was, you know, it was.
And then that gives them a chance to realize that this, whatever you're doing, is not permanent.
Mm-hmm.
The most permanent state is that state.
Right.
And that's a destiny.
That's right.
But that's why we told them that that's a destiny, but this body is temporary and you're gonna go another, we didn't spend a whole lot of time on it because we don't wanna bore everybody. Not bore, but, could I just explain something one time? They had something over Dar al-Hijra. Do you remember the time when one of the Imams, they had something over at Dar al-Hijra and the Imam was telling them, y'all gonna burn in the hellfire. You gonna?
No.
I said, no.
No.
You don't accept Islam?
No, not the brother, no.
Demons with little spikes in them, hot spikes.
No.
It sounded like Spectacles of Death. You remember that book?
Yeah.
Good God Almighty, Spectacles of Death. That's like Dante's Inferno or something.
For real?
Spectacles of Death is like Dante's Inferno. So anyway, I said, no, he didn't say it. He didn't do that. He didn't tell the people that. You don't accept Islam. And plus the Quran contradicts it. You know, there's a couple of places that any who believe in, whether Yahoo, whether Nasara, whether Sabiqun, any who believe in Allah in the last day and work righteousness will have a reward from their Lord, and no fear will come upon them, nor shall they grieve. This is what the Quran said. That's two ayats that say specifically that.
Yeah.
So any who believe in Allah and the last day and work righteous deeds will get their reward from their Lord, and it will be no fear come upon them, nor shall they grieve. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that some of our people are not trained in human communication, how to, or let's not call it selling, let's call it not running away your prospects, not running people crazy. You know, how you gonna sell them on Islam and telling them, if you don't do this, you gonna smoke gonna be coming all out of your ears. I mean, he was laying it on too. This is what I heard. I wasn't there. Did you hear the same? It was unbelievable. I said, I don't believe nobody said that. But then you know people, and so they do things like that. Again, the election story. The election story, well, the other thing I was mentioning about during the janazah was about assignment and judgment, that everybody, Allah sends us here, and Allah has an assignment for us, and Allah sends us the messages and through the angels, and Allah create environmental circumstances, and the people don't have any knowledge of your ability and all of that. But Allah know what He gave you and how you respond. That's why Allah is a judge, Malik Yawm ad-Din. And me and you ain't the judge, because we don't know. We looking at a guy and we saying, just like the janazah, we can say, man, the brother, the penitentiary, got penitentiary Islam, then he was doing this. We don't know, we can't judge that. We're not qualified. And who would want to judge somebody else anyway? So we talked a little bit about assignment and the judgment of Allah, transition, transformation, and transcendence. And briefly, that the soul is alive. Once we get a soul, after about 4 months and 20 days, once we get it, we got it from then on. You know, that's something that's not going anywhere. Now just think forever and ever and ever. Of course, we can't conceive of that. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're calling Brother Tufel Strategic Command Center. Brother Tufel Strategic Command Center. Okay, So now I'm getting back to what we opened with, and I just wanted to mention that since we're all here. Just imagine that every college and university, they have the Martin Luther King Cultural Center, the Malcolm X, this center, that, right? Or the George Washington, something or other. Everybody, whoever they look up to. We talked about using Brother Tufail's library because yesterday Brother Tariq was by and he left something for rent, and I told him, you don't have to pay that. You know, no. And I kept telling him, he said, no. He said, but they're cleaning it out, they're doing this, that, and another. And he said, Brother Rashid was leaving. I don't get into, but he said, anyway, long story. But Brother Tariq handled all of this. I guess mainly him and his wife. Yeah. And they did a good job. Brother Tariq's wife did a very good job with her, technically, stepfather. She really did a good job. I mean, you couldn't ask for nothing more, you know, from a wife to pay that much attention to your father. So she got a lot of blessings coming for that because she really did a good job. As far as the management of everything, Brother Tariq, see, Brother Tariq, I don't want to, well, okay, we'll talk about it. See, Brother Tariq, something Sister Bahia said yesterday when we was outside talking in front of the house and she came back. She said, Brother Tariq, you was a pain in the ass, but you really became a great human being. You really became a good man. You just said, alhamdulillah, and I agreed with her. Anyway, long story short, and the things that was going on during the janazah and the speeches were very interesting. But definitely Brother Tariq and his side of the family took care of it. They did all the management and all the organization, you know. And that's at the same time you're trying to find time to grieve too. Now imagine when you're trying to find time to grieve and other people are coming up with the dumbest things that you could imagine. That says a lot. So anyway, what is our position on all this? The Brother Tufail Strategic Command Center means that it's something that every time we're working on the projects that we're working on, we'll have him in the forefront of our thoughts. You know, see, you got to remember, like, not only Brother Tufail was here since about 92. When did you come, around 93 or 4 or something like 92?
Around 92, 93.
Okay. Look, you was still a fireman then, right? Okay, yeah. Okay. So look, that means that we shared a lot of things. That's why it reminds you that we have to do certain things because a lot of the things that I talk about, he witnessed those things. And a lot of, this is something that I want to say, and I know y'all will understand it. Some of the things that we said had a lot to do with other people, but they didn't have nothing to do with people that you think that I was talking about. remember, people are rolling along pretty good. You want to absorb all the heat yourself. So if you might mention, there's a senior snitch here, there's a senior, well, with Brother Mukhtar out there, he was a senior snitch. And when my family and other people was working with him, they would be talking to me, but they would be referring to him. Okay, I might mention certain things that people would misinterpret, and I'm saying it so they would misinterpret it. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Because if you got all the heat yourself, take all the heat yourself. And let everybody else kind of cruise along. It's not being honorable or anything like that. It's just that if you train for a job, right, might as well do it, right? No sense complicating everybody else's existence, right? Yeah.
Design fitness, right?
Design fitness. Man, there's so much design fitness going on. I had some notes, but I said I can't go through. Man, design fitness and design living. That means that we write your own story. We've been talking about that a lot of times. All people talk about that a little bit, and the Quran talks about it too. But we didn't know it would be here this quick for us, right? So that means, what is the story we're going to tell about us? That's what our programming is surrounding, like right now. Yeah. And this is our As-Sabiqun phase 3, what we're going through now. But the things that we're doing temporarily, like 4481, like the bookstore, like the other things, like what we'll do with Brother Tufel's house and everything. All right? That's part of our 9/15/2020 project. 9/15 is the Brother Tufel's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have a program every year, not on the birthday, maybe around the birthday. It's not bid'ah, nothing like that. It's fine. Yeah. People can do things to remind themselves. We know about the dhikr of Allah, the reminder about Allah, but the Prophet ﷺ used to remind people of certain, when someone would say, Ja'far had both of his arms cut off from holding the flag. He was holding the flag, then they cut one arm off, they cut another arm off, you know. And then he tried to hold it with his nubs. They call him Ja'far at-Tayyar. Ja'far the flyer. So the Prophet ﷺ said they got his 2 arms cut off in this world, but Allah gave him 2 wings in paradise. So they call him Ja'far at-Tayyar, the flyer. Ja'far at-Tayyar. Okay. So we're not inventing anything. You see what I mean? We're just using those things that Allah give us permission to do. And we don't particularly care whether somebody else like it or not, because it's our hero. The thing I want everybody to know now is heroes don't have to be perfect. Heroes don't have to be perfect. You know, they got heroes, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. Hey man, if you looked at the old newspaper articles from Thomas Jefferson days, and you know what I mean, and what Man, they talked about each other like dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
good God Almighty, you would, but you don't hear all that. They got the Jefferson Memorial down there. They don't have all that stuff printed on the memorial. Man, look at this article. They called him a whoremonger or this or that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but they don't have it written on his memorial. They got his great contribution. They don't even have the stuff that he left out of the Declaration that we read, left out of the Declaration of Independence. All they have is the stuff they want to put there. So, heroes do not have to be perfect or anywhere close to it. They just should have lived an admirable life in certain things. One may just contributed one or two good things to the movement, right? That's good enough. Right? They don't have Martin Luther King, J. Edgar Hoover take them, you know, with certain people. Very few people even know about it. And J. Edgar Hoover called him and told him, well, if you don't commit suicide, I'm going to put this out. Alhamdulillah, he didn't commit suicide. You know, he made him kill him. You know. So, somebody come telling me something about Malcolm. I said, so what? I said, so what? And it was something stupid like, in fact, I'll tell you what it was. It was the same guy that you see him making these big splash. So he read something in a book about when Malcolm was a teenager, they did this or they did that with white kids or something. Well, 95% of the people do the same. That's normal. That's what people do growing up. You know, they just do that stuff. That ain't it. So what's, well, to him, he wasn't perfect. You're looking for the perfect man, the human being. If you don't like looking at the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you're going to be in bad shape. Because the other human beings are not like that. I'll speed up a little bit. But the Brother Tufel Strategic Command Center is just that, where the stage that we're going into now is we're going to